Hello my friend, it's Pat Sloan here with my daily video. So we have the cross stitch today for the last video, my last video of February. Yes, February is done. So I'm going to do, okay, before I go to cross stitch, let me tell you that I will do the UFO like roundup of what I got done. I'll probably do that on Tuesday. So like let me go through the weekend and see what I get done, and then I'll do a wrap up on that Tuesday, just like a recap, that's the word. Okay, so our series that have been going on is the Prim Stitch series, and this month it is Pleasant and Gentle. I love that little sheep. Look at that little sheep. Okay, let's look at the real thing, the real deal. Cindy is stitching these for me. She does gorgeous work. Look at this. Aren't they cute? Look at the quilt here. The quilt block on the sheep. Here, there we go. Can't point, right? That's seeing it. That's okay. The quilt block on the sheep, and the sweet little girl or lady out there with her big flowers. I love the scale of primitive. The scale of primitive is outsized. Things don't need to be in proportion, which is my favorite thing about folk art, is that you will find oversized flowers for the sheep. In great big houses maybe, or great big flowers and regular sized looking houses. You know, all those things I think are fabulous. So this is quite a beautiful piece of stitching Cindy did for me. So I have it on my standing hanger, the Ackfeld hanger. I know a bunch of you always ask about it, so let me just show it to you again, how it works. There's some clips on here, so they just come off. And this size, I trim the cross stitch to 5.5, and then I put 1.5 inch pieces on the side. So the clips are super nice. You don't have to do a hanging sleeve. Yay! For those of you who are allergic to hanging sleeves, this will stand anywhere, which I really like. I like the standing one because I can move it around. I have it often up on the shelf that's on the other side of my studio here, but I have the wall version, so if you have a spot to put one on the wall, I have the wall version back there, which is really nice. Zoom it in a bit, you can see it back there. And so I can always have a little something decorating in that corner, and you can use it for a quilt block. It doesn't have to be cross stitch. You could do a little 6-inch quilt block. Now I did, let's look at this again. I did regular binding on this one today by hand. So you can see the binding up here, and pulled it to the back and hand stitched it. Oftentimes I will flip it like a pillow, which is one of the other ones I did here. So I would flip it like a pillow, and then I would top stitch to sort of give it that ridge. So you can see like right along here, like 1/8 of an inch in, I just top stitch all the way around, and that makes it, it's not a binding, but it gives that effect of a binding. But here's the difference. I'll hold them together so you can see one done with the regular binding, and then this one is done with like a pillow, and then I just top stitch it. So they're both fine. They're just a little different way of getting to the same end result. Just depends on what look you're going for. Of course, these are really fast to do hand binding. They're really fast. They're just so, you know, small. Now, when I was picking the border fabric for this guy, this is a little, there's not much of this one left. It was one of the older lines from Basic Gray. It wasn't Gypsy, I forget which it was. Was it on here? No, I have the piece of the edge, but I don't have the name of it. But I look at the Salvage on there. Isn't that cute with the little flowers? And I thought, you know, at one point I saved Salvages, and I was going to do a Salvage quilt, because, you know, I have not done that yet. I've put these in little projects here and there, but I've not done a whole Salvage quilt. So what do you think this is? I saved this piece, and I thought, what if I start to just cut these off as I go along and save them, so that I can do a quilt with them, which means I need to have some color whenever I cut it off. I mean, so tell me, have you done a Salvage quilt? Are you saving these to do one? There's all kinds of cool ones out there. You can put them in any kind of traditional pattern, any pattern you want. You just use them like fabric strips. And some people will leave these raw, the one raw edge here that's a finished edge because it's not going to unravel. They'll leave those, you know, without, they won't tuck those in. So they're kind of like layer things. But anyway, should I save some? Should I start a new collection of these? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if I should collect these up. I wish now I kept the other ones. It's like, I don't know. I got on a whim one time. I'm like, I was cleaning. It's like, I have not used these. I think I gave them to a friend. Like, you know, does anybody want these? And they're like, yeah, they'll take them. So off they went, out of my house. So you have been really, really doing well with your home is. People are staying up with it. You're not falling behind. You're getting your top row done, sharing fabulous stories. So be sure you go to Quilt Along with Pat Sloan, my group at Facebook, my big community there, which is, yesterday I announced I've hit over 190,000 quilters there. So be sure you come and join us. Okay, I have more progress on the UFO. So I'm not sure how much more UFO work I will get done. That's why I said I want to give a status of what I did get done at the end of February, the 2 weeks in February, on Tuesday. So you can give me a little time, a little grace time to get to Tuesday. So I've done more wave quilting on the flowers to the point where it's probably 3/4 done, if not a little bit more. So there we go. The wave quilting is done almost from this point to this point, which means I have all of this still to do here, and then a little bit of this border. So most of this border. So I've got a good chunk of it done. And then last night, it was like 10:30 when I was doing this, and I ran out of bobbin thread, and I was just like, I didn't have another one wound. So I'm like, nope, stop. And then I had to put my little sign on here. Here it is. I had to put my sign on there to tell me to change to the wave stitch. And this is also where I ran out of bobbin. So I know where to start again. You gotta keep track of that. And another thing I want to show you is I got some quilts back from the spa. So let me show you one of them. This is Main Street, which was, I don't know, 2019. I did 2 versions of Main Street. I must have been crazy. I sewed it in 2 colorways. And this is the sort of summery one with a collection that had roses and just really pretty summery colors. Ta-da! And so this quilting on here, Cindy and Dennis did like a wave with, not a wave, they did like swirls, and their pearls and leaves in the swirls, because this fabric's, you know, quite, has a lot of pattern to it. The fabric has a lot of pattern to it. I hate to say busy, because it's not busy. It's just fabric with a lot of pattern, which means that it camouflages the stitch that you use to machine quilt. You just don't see it unless you're going to do like a high contrasting thread, and even then you'll be fighting for competition to be seen. So it's quilted with a pink, which is really nice, and my backing, because those of you who want to see backing, I was using up fabric. These little boxes is a fabric from eons and eons and eons ago that I had, which was a pretty big piece, so I used that, some little dots, and then I used up the rest of the fabric that I have on the border of the front. I put it on the back to use it up. So those are my 2 shares for today. Is what's going on. I got 2 other quilts back from the spa when that happened, when they came in. So I got 3 at once, which means more binding. Yes, my 800 quilts that need binding. All right, I have to show you a kit that I got because it's just so cute, and it doesn't look like a lot of work. Those are famous last words, right? It's cute and it doesn't look like a lot of work. Okay, so I had to get this. This is Be Grateful. The designer of it is my friend Deb Strain, and I love her artwork so much, and I have just not bought any of it recently, and when I saw the kit, I'm like, yes, Yes, this is it because it showcases all the panels in the line, and it's got the bees. Look at the bees. Look at the bees. So when you get the kit, you get the fabric for the top, the background. So like, you know, here's the background, and then all the fabric and the panel for the top, and the binding. So I will need to buy backing fabric or use fabric that I own. I'll probably use maybe the gold from my Morrison Park would probably be really good because it's got the gold beehives. I love beehives and bee skeps. Depends on which this one is. Looks more like a bee skep to me, which are what they would put into the gardens to attract the bees. They're coiled, which you can see this is coiled. You see on there, see it's coiled. It is not like a beehive that the bees made. This is something people make, and it's coiled with grasses up into this dome. And sometimes when they're more primitive style, they're tall like this. Other times, the real ones are a little bit more round. If I can find a picture when I'm editing this video, I will pop it up here of a bee skep, because you can get them at garden centers. I used to have one. My mother-in-law gave it to me years ago, and then somehow I think I gave it to a friend later when I wasn't using it or something, because I kept it inside. I didn't put it in the garden because I was like, no, I want to keep it inside. So it also comes with a pattern. So I think this is I'm gonna have to cut this up, because basically I'm just making bees and frames for the panel. So good, so good. I'll see if the pattern is out there, but if there is kits, these kits are out there. So you can pick up, because you need the panel in order to do this. And then there's not that much, you know, so it's a really great value. Get it all together. Everything is here. And you get this super cool box, which you can use to store projects in afterwards. I'm in love. I am in love with this. So I want to get the parts cut up so I can put them in my rolling assistant. I've got them over there. And lay them in the top. Such big dreams I have. I already have two things, one in each top. So I need to get one of those done. You know, like those blue ones up there. See those blue ones up there? Those are I still have a few of those to finish so that I can release the top tray, and then I can put this one in there. I love the bees. So cute, so cute. Okay, my friend. It is a UFO focus. You need to like run it to the finish line now, okay? Because we are coming. I don't even know the sports terms to do this, right? But you know, we are almost done with the month, and whatever goals you had for your UFOs, now is the time to make as much of it happen, so that you know, so you feel good that you did it. That's what I'll be doing. Yes, I will. So links are down below. Thank you for using all of them to help support our small family business. Greg and I appreciate you so much, and we love you. Mwah. See you online.